It was one of those chilly autumn evenings where the wind carries a hint of farewell in its cold, sharp bite. I remember standing on the platform, the train lights flickering in the distance, reflecting off the puddles left by an earlier rain. Jake was beside me, his coat pulled tight around his shoulders, his eyes fixed somewhere beyond the horizon, as if he could already see the life he was walking into without me. I had thought we had time, plenty of it, but that day, I realized time could slip through your fingers like water, and sometimes, a single moment could change everything forever. We had argued earlier, as couples often do, over trivialities that seemed important in the heat of the moment but now felt utterly meaningless. I had let my frustration speak for me, words I hadn't meant, words that carried more sting than I had anticipated. "Maybe you're better off without me," I had said sharply, a defensive shield I thought would protect my pride. I didn't even register his expression at the time, his hurt, the shock that flared across his face like lightning, brief but searing. By the time we reached the train station, I was trying to apologize, my hand brushing against his as if to anchor him, to stop him from leaving. But the words that left my lips were muddled, half apologies, half blame, carrying the weight of a pride I would come to hate. I leaned in, intending just a quick kiss, a goodbye kiss that I thought would soften the edges of our argument, that would remind him of the bond we had shared. He kissed me back, soft at first, hesitant, his eyes searching mine as if trying to memorize every detail, every nuance of my face. But then, as the kiss deepened, something in his posture shifted. His hands pulled away, his body straightened, and I felt the coldness of the world settle between us. Pulling back, he whispered, his voice almost breaking, "I can't do this anymore." I froze. The words didn't register immediately. What do you mean?" I asked, my voice trembling, unsure if I had heard him correctly. "I'm leaving," he said, each word deliberate, measured, as if he had rehearsed this goodbye 1,000 times in his mind. "I can't stay where I'm not wanted, where I'm always just tolerated. Maybe I've loved too much, or maybe I just can't fight alone anymore. But I can't do this with you." The train rumbled closer, a reminder of the inevitability of departure. I reached for him again, but he stepped back, shaking his head. "I wish things were different," he said, his eyes glistening with unshed tears, "but your words, your anger, your doubts, they've changed everything. One goodbye kiss isn't enough to fix what's broken." And then he left. I stood there, frozen, as the train doors closed and the lights swallowed him into a new world where I wasn't included. My heart hammered, my chest felt like it had been hollowed out. The words I had spoken in anger replayed in my mind, each one like a dagger twisting deeper into regret. "Maybe you're better off without me." How cruel, how thoughtless, how utterly foolish I had been. I had pushed away the one person who loved me unconditionally, the one person who had always been my anchor, and now, he was gone. The days that followed were a blur of sleepless nights, endless texts left unanswered, calls that went straight to voicemail, and the relentless ache of knowing I had caused this. Every little reminder of him, a song, a coffee mug, the smell of rain on asphalt, cut deeper than the last. I tried to tell myself I had learned my lesson, that maybe we were too different, but deep down, I knew it wasn't difference that had ended us. It was my pride, my anger, my inability to communicate without hurting him. Weeks turned into months, and the emptiness never truly left. Friends tried to console me, offering clichés about moving on and finding someone new, but the truth was, no one could replace him. No one could undo the impact of that one goodbye kiss, that single moment where my impulsive words had driven him away. I saw him once, months later, across a crowded cafe. He looked happy, content even, a life moving forward without me. And I realized, with a piercing clarity, that I had lost him forever, not because love had failed, but because I had failed him. I replay our last conversation endlessly in my mind, searching for ways I could have saved him, saved us. I imagine different words, softer tones, a pause instead of a jab, a smile instead of bitterness. But the reality is cruel, the past cannot be rewritten, and the moment of the goodbye kiss is etched into memory as the point of no return. I carry the regret with me every day, a constant whisper in the back of my mind. One goodbye kiss changed everything. It changed my world, my life, my heart. And I am left with nothing but the echo of the words I can never take back and the image of him walking away, final, determined, leaving me to face the consequences of my own pride. Sometimes, late at night, I imagine reaching for him again, holding him, telling him the truth, that I love him more than I've ever loved anything, that I would fight for him, for us, for the life we could have had. But those are just dreams, fragile and fleeting, and every morning I wake to the harsh reality. The train has left the station, and I was left standing on the platform, forever haunted by a kiss that should have been a promise, not a goodbye. And so I live with the regret, knowing that love, once broken by careless words and impulsive emotion, is not always mended. The goodbye kiss will forever remain the moment that altered everything, the moment that taught me the cruelest truth. Sometimes, the damage we inflict with a single sentence or a fleeting gesture is irreversible, and no amount of wishing can bring back what we have lost.